Hi guys, what's going on? Thanks for stopping by. Welcome to my channel where I focus on early game and mid game stuff. 2 days ago I made a video about events and tournaments. I talked a bit about those in general, and I also talked about one very specific event, and that is the Orc-Path. I remember that I said something like, be very careful about your resources and be very careful that you are certain that you can reach as the goal that you set yourself when you look at an event, so that you are not, annoyed in the end when you don't get to the goal that you have set yourself. Well, I set myself the goal of getting this legendary tome, and I didn't get it. Well, that's annoying, isn't it? Yes, it is. I thought that is actually a great time to talk about these path events and how incredibly difficult it is for free-to-play players and for low spenders and for players especially in early and mid-game to get some decent rewards out of this event. The reason for that is I'm not going to go into the shard perspective here, or not going to look at this event from a shard perspective, because I have seen videos saying that the shard amount that you need in order to get these two here, the Packmaster and the Soul for the Hound, that the shard amount is 34, I think, and that's pretty decent in comparison to the past. It's actually pretty great. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about me and all the other poor people out there who don't have 34 sacred shards banked and don't want to buy them, and just want to get some decent rewards out of these events. And so I'm going to talk about why this event is so crazy difficult and what you should be looking out for in the future, because these events will be coming again, and sometimes they are better, sometimes they are worse. Right. The reason this path event is so incredibly bad, well, it isn't bad actually, hard. It is incredibly hard when you don't pull shards, is simply because there is only dungeon divers. There's no champion training. There is no champion training in this event. There is a champion training tournament going on at the same time, so I did get rewards from there, which is nice, and which is why I don't feel too bitter about this whole scenario or this whole thing. But I couldn't get a legendary tome from there either, so it's a bit unfortunate, because I value these really highly, and getting an epic tome and a mythical tome is, for me personally, actually worse than getting a legendary tome at the stage where or at the point where my account is at. Just because I'm not worried about epics at all. You get enough of these just by playing the game, and mythicals, when am I going to get a mythical champion? That's going to be ages away. All right, so the big point here is be really careful about what the events consist of, because with energy, let me give you an example, or let me tell you what kind of energy I had to invest in order to get to the point where I am in this event. I had so many energy refills in here that I think that was like 1,500 energy at least. I got all the energy from the clan shop. I had energy in my monthlies here, 400. I had 250 in here. I obviously did all the advanced quests and the daily stuff and everything, and I invested all that energy into the Orc-Path or into champion training. And yeah, you saw where I was, where I ended up at. Like I said, champion training event going along on the side, and that is why I'm not too bitter, and I still got proper rewards. Big warning here though. The big warning here is, and the big takeaway, when you have a certain goal in this event, and there is only dungeon divers going on, you are going to get so little points, so few points. Like I had, I think in the end, let me check on this, 7, 5, 9, 10, yeah, I had just above 11,000 points, and I would have needed more than 22,000 points in order to get a legendary tome. So with all the energy I invested, I was only halfway there by doing champion training, but I don't think there is a place in this game that's much more efficient. When you compare the average point that you get from the average points that you get from campaign. It's not that different from the average points that you get from other areas. That being said, I haven't checked on hard dungeons. Only checked on the normal dungeons, you know, like stage 20, stage 24. Alright, so yeah, be really careful about this. The reason I miscalculated this, or yeah, had the wrong impression about this event, is because I didn't think about the champion training part of the whole thing. I did these path events. I think I stopped playing Raid like 6 months ago, haven't played in that period of time, and then started this account. But before that, I did a few of these path events, and I remember that getting points wasn't that bad, but that was always with champion training going on along. Alongside it? I don't know. I hope you know what I'm trying to say. Right, so the big point here, be really mindful of this. Don't do what I do. Be smarter, be cleverer. And if you have a goal in these events, really think about the shards that you're going to need. And yeah, if going for this event is going to be worth it when there is no champion training going on. Lucky we think about double dipping, right? Double dipping is always a great thing, so champion training and that going on at the same time kind of saved me from really wasting energy. All right. Oh, by the way, the fusion is coming up. No idea what it's going to be. There is a rumor that it's going to be the Ninja Turtles, which I think is quite fun. To be quite honest, I really don't care what the theme is. I just would love a decent champion that I can go for. Especially a burner would be great. Burner or just... I don't know. Yeah, I guess. Let's settle for that. A proper burner would be with some utility, maybe some support, some damage, I don't know. Because he would be great for Spider. He would help me in Hydra as well. Burners can be great in harder content. Just put a burner, and then into wave content, just put a burner and then 4 supports around that burner, and you're probably going to be fine going through nearly all waves. Not all, obviously, but quite a few. Yeah. All right, I think that finishes that video. I actually wanted to make this a short one. Didn't work again, but that's the way it is. I hope you have a great day, guys. See you on the next one. Bye.